Hey there, welcome. You are at the Thrifty Journal Shop. My name is Amber. If you are new to my channel, welcome. So happy you stopped by today. I have a request for some more blobby cats, so that is what we are going to do today. I will link my fodder playlist that I've created where I've done some cats and some other handmade embellishments. I wanted to just show you some ideas really quick here of what you can do with handmade fodder, or what I like to do, just for some inspiration and ideas. So this is actually like a really scrappy sort of snippet strip or snippet roll, and I use packaging tape. And then I do sew down it. It doesn't gunk my needle up or anything. If you're not a sewer, this sticks really well. You might just want to maybe add a little bit of glue, sticking it down just the places that might pop up. And I just take a bunch of my scraps and stamps. But what I've done is I've added some of my little blobby cats. I've done it with my other fodder that I've made. So that's just one way. I really like this style of blobby cats. These are the ones we're going to make today because they're really easy. And then this is just using some of my scrappy hearts I mentioned in my last video of my trash journal. I will link that playlist also. I think we'll be making some of these at some point too. And then, you can just cut off a strip of this and add it to a journal. This is one of my art journals here. So here's like a snippet strip that I did with another style of cat with some of my fodder. And that way it just dresses up a page. I like adding things to the border of my pages. And what's nice about these snippet strips is that you can just make a roll of them and cut them off where you want. I love it. I just think it adds so much texture and color. It's a great way to use your scraps of fabric. If you've got stamps, whatever kind of embellishments you have, if you've got a lot of like punches or other little cutouts and stuff like that, it's just a great way to add texture and color and use your scraps. Yeah, like he's super cute. These are super easy to make. I love that little blobby cat. You can also take the fodder and make, your own journaling cards and tags. Here's some strawberries. This is a playing card that I added some acrylic paint on and some scraps and just some writing space. I've made tags using recycling packaging. This is from a Amazon gift tag. And then I just like tucking them in. So here's a little blobby guy. And he's just hanging out there in this little belly band tuck spot that's from some packaging from the oranges. I've got this little blobby guy hanging out here in this pocket. So I like having things peeking out, looking around, and all of that. All right. Oh, and I have this page. I love this page. These guys are really super silly. And I just have them hanging out in the pocket with their wild and crazy eyes. So maybe we'll do one like that too. All right, let's get started. I'm going to use watercolors. You can use whatever you want. Like I've stated before, if you want to use like marker pens or acrylic paint pens, I am going to use colored pencils because for these, I actually went back and used my colored pencils instead of my fine tip pens, and it worked really well. Some of these pens, just in my experience here, if the watercolor is not super dry, it really wrecks your tip. So like my black one is done. It doesn't even work anymore. So lesson learned on that. So I've been using my colored pencils and I like that look. You can still get the fine tip and everything. Okay, so I've got some watercolor paper. I think it's 140 pound. I just have some cheap watercolors here, guys. I'm not a watercolor professionalist by any means. If you are looking for those type of videos, there are tons of people out there. I've mentioned Terry Runyon before. I really like watching her. And, you know, there's different techniques of wet on wet and all of that. We're going to do some of these blobby guys, and you can make them any kind of color you want. If you want to do them more cat-like, you want to do them more brown or black or orange, if you want like a tabby. I'm going to make mine kind of whimsical. And so what I do is I give it a head, some ears here, and I just make a really large blob. These ones I don't really make the head. Like this one is sort of made more of a head and body. These guys are going to just be one big round blob. So you can make them short and stout. You can make them long and skinny. And I just play around with colors here. Really just not overthinking it. I give them a little bit of a tail. I have a tendency to give them a tail on the right-hand side. I don't go back and touch it up. I just sort of put something on the paper, give it a shape, don't overthink it. They're supposed to look whimsical and wonky. I think that's what's nice about watercolor is that it's pretty forgiving for the most part. And also, if you're doing these and you're going to cut them out, if the watercolor runs out of the lines, that's okay because you're going to cut them out. I'm going to try the tail going this way. Okay, let's make like a chubber. Make a chunky one. Do a little wet on wet here. I try to utilize my space on this paper. When I do cut these out, a lot of times I'll save the in-between spots, and for other types of fodder, I found I like to do strawberries a lot, and it just sort of works out that I'm going to have lots of strawberries. It's like the perfect size. I am going to go over this a little bit just to make the ears a little bit bigger. So you get the idea. You're just making big blobs. I did do some like this. Those are kind of more silly. These were more like I did a head, a body and a tail, and then I kind of drew the little legs. But I really like how these turned out. Some of them I might get more of a flatter bottom. Like this is more rounded. We might give these guys some legs. Sometimes I don't even give them legs. Like this little guy, he doesn't have legs. All right, guys, I'm gonna let these dry. We've got some funny different shapes, and then I'll be back and we'll fine tune them. Okay, the blobbies are all dry, so I thought I would just do some decorating. I'm gonna probably use my marker pens and my colored pencils here. So what I do, I like the little tiny eyes and nose. So I just doodle some little triangles. Sometimes I like to do a little heart nose. I usually just do this in black. I like to outline it in black also. I am going to be cutting these out. Now I haven't done the big eyes on these guys. These guys, I made these a lot wider. These were kind of on accident. They turned out so goofy. I don't know what it would look like. Maybe we'll do this one with some really big eyes. Do the little sleepy eyes. Oh boy. I'm just going to do all the faces first. Oops. All right, guys, this is where I'm just going to speed it up a little bit, have fun. I'm going to doodle, and then I'll show you what they look like at the end. I might cut some of them out. Guys, you could go on and on and on with just doodling and adding little tidbits and making fun eyes and everything. So I'll probably go around with some black to outline them. But yes, just have fun with the blobs. And then you can just take it wherever it may go. So much fun. I don't even think I'm going to cut these out today. Stay tuned because I'll probably be adding them to some of my junk journaling pages. I did add that snippet strip right there. So that was fun. What a cool way to just decorate a page. And you can make them all different sizes and shapes. You could give these in Happy Mail. So many different ways, guys. If you're interested, let me know. I know I had someone say they were interested in me putting together maybe some like fodder packs, which I could do. I could put together some of these, and then I have painty papers, and then I've got other things that I can do too. I will probably do that at some point. All right, guys, I hope this gave you some inspiration to get out your watercolors and your colored pencils and your crayons or just whatever you have and make some blobby fun cats. Okay, thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you really soon.